So I'm going to go into this trial. I'm going to sit in a freezing cold icebox for 8 hours, 9 hours or so.
A visibly feeble Trump shuffled away from the microphones, visibly disoriented, and able to put together barely a coherent sentence. Trump basically is going through the same routine every day that there is trial. He rolls up to the microphones. He complains with some kind of half-baked rant that the entire trial is very unfair, that his friends say it shouldn't even have been brought, and if it weren't for the trial, he'd be out campaigning. He also regularly now is complaining that the courtroom is too cold. So let's take a look at a couple of these moments. He also ultimately kind of lumbered away from the microphones, looking dejected and confused, and certainly feeble and haggard. Appropriate descriptors here. So let's take a look at the first clip. Trump showing up at trial just after 9 a.m. and saying, "This is all so unfair. I shouldn't even be here."
Thank you very much. So we begin again. This is a case that should never have been brought. Every single major legal scholar, Jonathan Turley, Greg Jarrett, Andy McCarthy, Dershowitz.
All of my friends are telling me this is so unfair, sir.
Every single scholar, Mark Levin, the great Mark Levin, had a whole show on it last night, said that this is a disgraceful case. It's a disgrace to the New York state and city court system.
By the way, every single one of these criminal trials, Trump's going to say the same thing. This case is so disgraceful. All my friends say it shouldn't even have been brought. Really, it's a perversion of the justice system.
And all of the cases are, frankly, all of them are. You probably saw last night that Jack Smith got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. It was released late last night, and it's a big story. The documents case is a hoax.
Right.
Created by them for election interference purposes. And so that one looks like it's going asunder.
There is, of course, no evidence of any of that. And then not only the reality that it's just Trump's friends who are saying this is unfair, becoming a recurrent refrain during these little speeches, Trump also increasingly displeased with the temperature in the courtroom.
So I'm going to go into this trial. I'm going to sit in a freezing cold icebox for 8 hours, 9 hours or so.
Yep. It's just so cold. I would love to actually see Trump bring in a blanket. I think that that would be a really, really great thing. But I don't know if that would be necessarily allowed. Trump continuing to say this is all so bad for the country that this is going on.
The judge should terminate the case because they have no case. As Jonathan Turley said, as all of them said, every single one of them, Dershowitz, McCarthy, everyone, Greg Jarrett, Mark Levin, they all said this case should be ended immediately. This case is over. It should be ended immediately. And many of them are not fans of mine, but they want to do the right thing for the country.
Right.
So I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go into the icebox now and sit for about 8 hours or 9 hours. I'd much rather be in Georgia.
Now, understand, when he says he'd much rather be in Georgia, this is Trump's continued claim that if it weren't for this trial, he would be everywhere campaigning, campaign event after campaign event. He wants us to believe that that's what he would be doing. Remember that the trial is off on Wednesdays. And last Wednesday, Trump went golfing. Saturday and Sunday, Trump has off. He didn't do any campaign events Saturday and Sunday. Reports said that he golfed again. Now, in his defense, today, Wednesday, the trial is off, and Trump does have 2 rallies scheduled. Whether he will get to those rallies or whether they will be canceled is a different question. Let's see if I have anything else here. Trump is now, it's all hyperbole and superlatives. People are telling Trump this is the longest trial ever, and no one ever had to sit in a court for this long.
You have a judge who's totally conflicted, totally, absolutely conflicted, that he's rushing this case through. I'll tell you what, somebody just told me they've never sat for such a long period of time in a courthouse before. It's ridiculous. I'm supposed to be in Georgia. I'm supposed to be in New Hampshire. I'm supposed to be in Ohio and lots of other places.
Yeah. Imagine that. There's never been a trial this long, apparently, in the history of American justice. This is the longest days, even though they have Wednesdays off, and the longest trial, even though it's expected to run like a few weeks. And by the way, remember how Trump spent 2 weeks arguing the judge won't let me go to Barron's graduation. And the truth was the judge simply hadn't ruled on that. The judge has now ruled that Trump can go to Barron's graduation. The only downside for Trump is now he can't keep saying the judge won't let me go. And also he's now going to have to go to Barron's graduation, which I can't imagine Trump is that interested in going to. All right. And then ultimately, Trump shuffling away from the microphone as the question, are you going to pardon the Proud Boys, is yelled at him.
Are you going to pardon the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers? So there we have the pretrial remarks on day.
Yeah. I love how they're called remarks as if it's anything other than the rantings of a madman. So there is Trump entering court on day whatever of this thing. It's an icebox. It's cold. The days are long. It's boring. The trial never should have been brought. Maybe they could get Trump a Game Boy or something to surreptitiously use during the trial. And if you thought this was incoherent, just wait till you see what happened after the trial when Trump joined Sean Hannity for a softball interview. One of today's sponsors is Strideline, the creator of the most comfortable sock on earth. Established in 2009 by childhood friends in Seattle, Strideline has dedicated years to researching the most comfortable socks, and they really are. They present you with socks that are not only incredibly comfortable, but highly functional for an unparalleled experience. For the sports enthusiasts in the audience, Strideline will keep your feet warm on game day. As an official partner of the NFL, MLB, NCAA, and Major League Soccer, they bring you a range of socks tailored for every sports fan. But Strideline's diverse collection also includes non-sports socks like basic crew and ankle socks, as well as premium options like combed cotton and merino wool. Embracing sustainability, their eco socks are made from recycled plastic bottles that are taken out of the ocean. You can make your feet and the earth more comfortable. I grabbed a pair of fantastic New England Patriots socks. Even though it's not going so well for the Pats right now, they are still my go-to when I'm watching the games. Go enhance your comfort with a 20% discount only for the David Pakman Show. No other show is getting this discount. Use code PAKMAN for 20% off at strideline.com. The link is down below.